Why do refugee movements trigger political crises far beyond the conflict zones they flee? Why do border policies become central election issues in stable democracies? And why can migration reshape alliances, domestic politics, and international negotiations simultaneously? Migration, refugee crises, and border politics sit at the intersection of sovereignty, human security, and global inequality, making them central to modern international relations. Migration is not a new phenomenon, but its scale and visibility have increased in a globalized world. Conflicts such as the war in Syria displaced millions, leading to large refugee flows into neighboring countries in Europe. The Russia-Ukraine war produced one of the fastest refugee movements in recent history, with millions seeking safety in European Union states. Climate-related disasters and economic instability also drive migration across Africa, Latin America, and South Asia. These movements illustrate how domestic crises quickly become international challenges. Refugee governance is shaped by international law and institutions. The 1951 Refugee Convention defines who qualifies as a refugee and outlines state responsibilities. Organizations like the UN High Commissioner for Refugees coordinate humanitarian assistance, yet enforcement depends on state willingness. Some countries adopt open-door policies during crises, while others tighten borders or construct physical barriers. The European migration crisis of 2015 revealed deep divisions within the EU over burden sharing, demonstrating how migration can strain institutional unity. Border politics reflects tension between sovereignty and human rights. States have the sovereign right to control entry into their territory, but they also face international obligations to protect refugees. Debates over asylum processing, detention centers, and externalized border agreements highlight this tension. For example, agreements between European states and transit countries attempt to manage migration flows before migrants reach EU borders. In the United States, migration from Central America has repeatedly become a focal point of domestic political debate with international implications. Migration also intersects with security narratives. Some governments frame migration as a national security concern, linking it to terrorism or economic strain. Others emphasize humanitarian responsibility and economic contribution. Remittances sent by migrant workers constitute a significant share of GDP in several developing countries, illustrating migration's economic dimension. Labor markets in advanced economies often rely on migrant labor in sectors such as agriculture, healthcare, and construction, creating interdependence between sending and receiving states. Migration, refugee crises, and border politics demonstrate how domestic and international spheres are deeply connected. Conflict, economic disparity, and environmental change drive movement, while political responses reshape alliances and institutional frameworks. In an interconnected world, migration is not just a humanitarian issue. It is a strategic and political challenge that tests sovereignty, cooperation, and identity. And now that you understand how mobility reshapes global politics, the next step is to explore another emerging dimension of modern conflict: cybersecurity and hybrid warfare in international relations.